what made me gain so much weight. After I moved to Maryland, I was eating everything that I was cooking. And I was so sad and depressed. So that played a major role in my weight gain. I was eating everything because I didn't really have anybody. I didn't have any friends, or I didn't have any family over there. I literally half teaspoon of salt. So I have my lemongrass pepper, my lemongrass chicken that is marinating, some chopped kale, finally, well, I chopped them really small, some bulgur wheat that I cooked, simple with olive oil, garlic, and salt, cooked beets, purple cabbage, purple onion, cannella beans I pressure cooked, cucumbers, radish, jalapenos, tomatoes, yellow bell pepper. I'm gonna get some dried cranberries and sauerkraut or kimchi to add to it, so I can get some good bacteria in my stomach to keep my gut nice and stuff. So yeah, this is it. This is what I'm gonna be eating for the next couple of days, next 3 days kind of. Yeah.
guys make PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Now, with the Olympics underway, I can put my USA basketball knowledge to the test. And with PrizePicks special offers, as long as somebody like LeBron James scores just a single point, you will win. And if you want to try PrizePicks for yourself, you click the link in the description or pinned comment and play a $5 lineup. You will get $50 instantly just for playing. You need to know, as they have publicly been on record saying that they hate trade, not because they believe the conspiracies are true, which is something Ski Mask has clearly went out of his way to say. But even with this, as Ski Mask stated, his fundamental
behind me. This is a really beautiful area. I was just thinking, I'll start by telling you guys what happened first, what made me gain so much weight. After I moved to Maryland, I was eating everything that I was cooking. And I was so sad and depressed, so that played a major role in my weight gain. I was eating everything because I didn't really have anybody. I didn't have any friends, or I didn't have any family over there. I literally did not know anyone, and I moved there. So that's one of the main reasons. And I was eating everything that I was cooking. So yeah, I remember one time I made chaka. I ate the whole thing of chaka. I'm gonna actually post a clip of the chaka that I made, and mind you, I ate the whole thing by myself. I mean, it took me a couple weeks because I didn't want to throw it away, but to eat all of this food is insane. I will say people here in Dallas are so nice, you know, because it's the South. You automatically think people from the South are not nice. You know, the perception of people from the South and people from the East Coast, you know, but people are so nice. Like walking here, people will say good morning to you. People will talk to you, and I'm like, I'm not used to this. I know I'm not used to this. But anyway, so I'm gonna share some tips with you of what I do to stay healthy, to maintain my weight loss. This park is beautiful though, like I can't. To maintain my weight loss, one of the first thing I did was realizing that it's what I wanted and it's what will be good for me. Good morning. See, I'm telling you, people are so nice here. in mass, people just look at you like, and then they move on. But people people don't give you bad look. Like I was always so shy to, you know, do this, like hold the camera and like talk, because people will judge me, and I don't want to be judged, and I was always so shy. But like this is one of the, there's so many reasons why I moved here, and I don't want to get too off topic, but I wanted to go somewhere where I don't have to be ashamed to do what I do, you know, because I did went to school, and what I did learn in school, I didn't want to do it anymore, and it wasn't working for me. So, and I found something that I really like. I love cooking, and I found that I can make a career with that. So I want to do that. But in Boston, it's like people look at you funny. It's like you can do blogging, but you got to have another job to be taken serious, for people to like respect you in a way, because it's like it's not a real job. So yeah, but anyways, back to the topic. I was saying the most important thing is to realize that what you want, and create a plan how you're going to achieve it and how you're going to stay consistent. And for me, I knew that I wanted to be happy. Being overweight, I wasn't happy, so I wanted to, and I knew that if I lost the weight, I would be happy, I would be confident, I would want to go out. So I created a plan and I went through with it. The first plan was going to the doctors and getting blood work done. So I did go to the doctors and I got my blood work done, and I was able to see like how my hormones are doing, what I need to work on, my A1C level, because you know, blood sugar, managing your blood sugar is very important. So once I did that, I then I spoke to my doctor, and we came with a plan. You gotta go to your doctor and figure it out. And I'm like working. This is the first time I am actually doing this. Like, I came here at this time because I know there wouldn't be too many people. Yeah, so it's really getting your blood work done, because you need to know what your A1C level is. You need to know what, you need to know your blood, because your blood test will tell you everything you need to know. So once you do that, come up with a plan with your doctor. You can either do it on your own, get a nutritionist and a personal trainer, or you can do it by yourself. And for me, I didn't have the funds, so I know how to cook, I know how to work out. I work out for a very long time, so getting a personal trainer obviously was out of my budget, so I had to do it on my own, and like I had to stick around with it because I didn't have the money for that. So figure out what you want, make a plan, and stick through. You have to stick through. Like, you have to. If that's what you want, because I've seen people like complain about weight loss. But this is one thing about me: once I complain about something, just know I'm already in the works of changing it. Like, if you see me complaining about a job, just know, give me a couple weeks, I'll be out of the job. Because like, I'm gonna complain, but I'm not gonna stick around and like just sit there and complain. People complain like, I'm fat, I'm fat, I'm fat. Do something about it. Like, I remember crying, and I remember calling my friend, he's an AP, and I was asking him like, hey, I was so desperate, and I was asking him like, what can I do to like lose the weight, and he was suggesting that I do intermittent fasting, because I can't afford Ozempic. So I couldn't, and I still can't afford Ozempic, so I had to like do what I needed to do. All right, so I'm gonna walk for a little bit. When I get somewhere like nicer, less people, that's with more shade, I'll come back and share a few more tips. Also, like I was talking about coming up with a plan. After you come with a plan, you have to stick through it. As I was saying, coming up with a plan meaning how many times you're gonna work out a week, what are you gonna eat for the week, like, because it's gonna cost you a little bit more now, because you have to eat healthier, you have to be mindful and very demure and cutesy. So that's part of the plan, Let's say you have a full-time job where you work 9 to 5, or sometimes you have a very different schedule where you work overnight. So like, how are you gonna manage to, because you have to sleep. Sleep is crucial. So how are you gonna, sleep? Make sure you get at least 7 hours of sleep. How are you gonna do that? What are you gonna eat? Like, are you gonna do meal plan, or are you gonna be able to cook every day? Like, what's the plan? And for me, meal plan worked a lot. Are you gonna do intermittent fasting, or are you just gonna eat 3 times a day, eat very small, eat small meals? So that's the plan you have to create for yourself. How many times a week can you work out? Can you do twice a week? Can you do 4 times a week? Can you do 7 times a week? What kind of workout do your body need? And also, like, figure out what type of workout works for you. Not every exercise works for everybody. Let's say if you're someone who suffers from PCOS, obviously high intensive training is not gonna work for you. For me, working 6 miles a day, 10 miles a day is great. I've been able to do that, so do something like that. Or can you do weight training? Which one do you want to do? Do you want to do classes, yoga, bar? I think it's called bar. What else? Zumba, things like that. So that's part of the creating the plan. And will you need therapy? That's another part of the plan you may need. Also, another thing you may need, another part of the plan. It's so sunny, and I have sunscreen on. I didn't bring extra sunscreen for my body, but I brought for my face because I don't want my face to get burned. I already got burned. So once you created the plan, how are you gonna stick through with it? What are you gonna do to stick through with it? Will you need to cut in your hours? And for me, like I said, I was very desperate, and this is what I wanted to do. This is what would make me happy, because I was in a position where I didn't want to go out, you guys. I didn't want to go anywhere. Like, I remember I wanted to go visit my family back in Boston, and I was so depressed, and I didn't want to go. That's when I called my friend, asking him about, like, what can I do to lose the weight so fast, because he works in the medical field. So, because I was so ashamed, like, I wasn't happy. I don't like taking pictures. When I'm big, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody, and I don't want to take no pictures. And because I have a round face, so when I'm big, when I'm heavy, my face is like puffy. I didn't like it. I hated it. I like really did not like myself. Like I remember crying all the time. So like I was in a position where this is what I wanted, so I worked for it. So I created my plan. I knew that I was gonna work out this much. I changed my job because that's what I wanted, because my health, it's got to a point too where I had to do it because my health, my A1C level was high. I was borderline diabetic, so I had to do that. Created my plan, changed my job, you know, cutting my hours. And it's not like I could have afforded. I couldn't have afforded to cut my hours, but I had to do what was best for me, you know. So I did that, and I've worked out 4 to 6. Sometimes I do 7 days a week, but I worked out a lot. I would work out, you know, 4 times a week, sometimes 6 times, sometimes 7 times a week, you know, because it's what I really wanted. I was so desperate. I needed it, you know. Yeah, and I did meal planning, I did intermittent fasting, and I watched what I ate. I really had to cut on. I had to be disciplined. I was disciplined the whole time. I didn't eat out like that. I really didn't eat late anymore. I stopped eating from 7 p.m. until 1 p.m. the next day, or 12 p.m. I really had to make the sacrifices, and I knew because it's what I wanted. So I cut out on snacks, like I ate less, and yeah. And I worked out a lot. Jump rope is one of the exercises that I love, and that's really helped me. I walked a lot. I walked miles, and I did a lot of jump rope. So these 3 things really helped me. So figure out what type of exercise would work for you, what type of meals you like. Find out the meals that are healthy, you know, because you can't just be eating everything. You gotta eat nutritious meal, like whole foods that's gonna benefit you, you know, that has fiber, protein, all of that stuff. So, and supplements too. Supplements was helpful for me. I did take some supplements, and I will share with you the type of supplements that I took, and I'll post a link on the description box if you want to check it out. Supplements did help me. For example, I'll share with you like the one that I did to work out. Especially I did take pre-workout because it helped me sometimes. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to work out, but it gave me the energy. But you know, you can't just pre-workout non-stop. You gotta take a break, like a 4-week break, then go back to using it. So I'll post the link, and I'll come back again in a few minutes. The next thing I wanted to talk about was mental health, right? So I'll take my headphones on. I wanted to talk about mental health because as someone who's almost 30, I still sometimes struggle with social media, with what I see. Because sometimes I have to remind myself, hey, Cindy, this is social media. Some of this stuff are fake and some are real, you know. There's Photoshop, there's this, that, there's editing tools, so I know, you know. So I'm saying all this to say, be gracious on yourself. Give yourself grace. Like if God give you grace, how can you not give yourself grace? I'm saying this, and I'm still trying to learn it, because it's so easy for me to give people grace, but not myself. I am so hard on myself. In a way, like sometimes, like I'm very hard on myself. It has its positive side, also its negative side. Helicopter, because it helps me be better, but also it's bad because I always feel like I'm not good enough. I always feel like I don't do well enough, you know. So it's like even if it's like good, it's like no, it's something I'm still learning to give grace on myself. And that's what my therapist told me. She said, if God is gracious on you, so God gives you grace, how can you just really nothing in front of God? How can you not give yourself grace? And this has, you know, this is something I think about all the time. Whenever I'm like hard on myself, I think about it and I'm like, okay, I need to do better. So I'm saying all this because losing weight, you don't lose weight in a minute. Like I will never make a video and tell you how you can lose weight in 30 days and like be snatched in 30 days, like lose 30 pounds. It's almost impossible, and it's not realistic, and it's very dangerous. There are ways you could do it with doctors. If you have money, you could do that, but it's not gonna last you long, and it's also, you could die. You could die. So give yourself time. It took me over a year to lose the 30 pounds. I didn't lose it in 30 days. I didn't lose it in 6 months. It took me a long time. Like like I said, I was eating less, and I was like making sacrifices. I was trying to eat only good food. Like I love bread. Like bread is my thing, you know. The other day I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm a slave to bread. That's how much I love bread. So, and I had to cut bread out. Like I stopped eating bread for months. So these are the things that I had to do. Like I stopped eating pasta. I was eating mostly whole grain food, like things that are good for me. And I was cutting on my meals. I was cutting on sugar. And I love sweets. Like I love cakes, cookies, cakes. Like I love these things. So I had to cut these out. So these are the things that helped me. Like instead of eating white rice, I was eating bulgur, I was eating quinoa, I was eating barley, I was eating a lot of beans, lots of greens. I was making smoothies every day. And when I make smoothies, I make my smoothies as meal replacement. I will show you some smoothies that I did as meal replacement. It wasn't just the protein, it was packed with stuff. So for me, that smoothie was like a whole meal with lots of protein, lots of fiber and everything. So give yourself time. Like stay off social media, because I would go on social media and I would see someone like, you know, looking really nice, so skinny and like perfectly toned, and I'm like, why can't I be like that, you know? But then I had to think, I'm like, Cindy, like you can't compare yourself to other people. Like you don't know, maybe she has really great metabolism. Like you don't know her age, because age plays a role. Being, you know, being almost 30, your metabolism, my metabolism is not the same way that it used to be when I was 16 years old. Like it's not. And I'm someone who's always had struggle with body image, because I've always been small. Like I was always like a size 5 and 4 until I went to college, and then I went from a size 5 to a size 14. That's crazy. So, you know, so yeah, I still I have a timer on my social media. Like I'm not on Instagram. Like I do social media, but I'm not on it all the time. I go there to post myself, interact with my audience, and get off, because once you start scrolling, you're gonna start comparing yourself. Like it's you, as I was saying before the camera cut off, once you start scrolling, you will compare yourself. That's just how it is, and you have to pay attention to that. Like sometimes I do that now, still now. Like I'm almost 30, and like I'll be scrolling and I start, like literally I was scrolling and I saw someone's hair, and I was like, oh, I wish my hair was like that. She had probably, I think she had like 4B hair. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what are you doing? And I just got off social media, because why am I gonna do that? Like, why did I make myself feel bad just from saying something? Like, it's knowing that I can't change it. It's genes. Like if I'm born with 4C hair, I'm born with my naps. There's nothing I can do. I mean, I can only change it temporarily, and that's it. What? It's gonna go back to nap. so stay off social media. Use it for good. Like I use social media for good. I use it to find exercises that I can do, to find tips, like that's what I use it for. I use it for good, because social media is a good thing. It's a great tool. You just need to know how to use it. I always tell my friend, because she doesn't like to be on social media, I told her social media can make you or break you. It's up to you. And for me, social media is gonna make me. I come from nothing, and here I am doing this, so I know it's gonna make me. Will it break me? I won't allow it unless you allow it. So be mindful. Like check with your mental health. Like comparing yourself, also being like at a weight you don't like is already tough on your mental. Like I said, for me, like I was so sad and I was depressed. Like I was crying a lot, and I didn't want to I didn't want to go out, I didn't want to take pictures, I didn't want to do nothing. So imagine you're already in that state of mind, and then you're going on social media comparing yourself. You'll probably wanna, you know, so like be mindful. Give yourself grace. You're not gonna lose weight in 2 days and 30 days. 30 days you may lose 2 pounds. You know, in a week you may lose half a pound. In 30 days you may lose 5 pounds. Who knows? It's just your body, your metabolism, all that matters. Think about all of it. Your hormones. It's not just it's all science. It's chemical. Like what? Look into your body. So be gracious on yourself. Check in. Like if you need to see a therapist, see a therapist. I know it's expensive, but if you have health insurance, see a therapist. Most health insurance cover for that. You may not have the best options, you may not have access to the best therapist, but you have something. Yeah, check on that. Because I'm only saying this because I know how it feels, because I went through the same thing. And as someone who's almost 30, I still struggle with social media sometimes, and this is why like I have a timer on all of my apps except for YouTube. But like like TikTok, IG, Facebook, I have a timer. My goal is to spend 2 hours or less on all these 3 apps, and I've been able to maintain to do really good, you know, because sometimes I would be on it and I would like, because it would remind me, your 15 minutes is up, and I would like get more time, and I'm like, okay, I've been on this too much, and I get off. So like I said, mental health is very important. Be sure to give grace to yourself. Don't go too hard on yourself. It takes time. Like if you go to your doctor, no doctor's gonna tell you, oh yeah, you can lose the weight in 30 days. You can lose 40 pounds in 30 days, 30 pounds in 30. No doctor, no real doctor is gonna tell you can do that naturally, by the way, naturally. No, with no medication assistant. And also, speaking of medication assistant, this is something that, you know, people look down upon, but if you're like overweight, like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, 300 pounds, you can use medication assistant. There's different ways. Like, yeah, it could be a shortcut, but you have to think. My phone keeps dying because it's hot, it's overheated. Yeah, I was talking about medication assistant. Our bodies are different. Once you reach a certain age, it's not as easy to lose weight, like I was saying. When I was 15, I could eat most things and like still lose weight when I was 16, 17. But now that I'm 30, almost 30, things are not the same. My body don't work the same anymore. And this is why it's like so important when you reach this time, you eat healthy, you exercise more, you are mindful about what you're putting into your body. Okay? Whether it's people, whether it's food, whatever it is you're putting into your body, be mindful about it. Be mindful. There's a lot of crazy spirits out there. So be mindful. So if you like, I don't know, 300 pounds and you're qualified for your insurance will cover for it, do it. Who cares? As long as you're still eating healthy, because even if you use medication assistant, you still need to be able to maintain the weight. So you're still gonna have to do the work anyways. You know, you still have to eat healthy. You still have to exercise. Otherwise, it's gonna be a waste of time. So it's not like you can just get medication, lose weight, and then that's it. After you stop the medication, you can't go back to the same habits. You have to change those habits. So if you're qualified for which, use it. I wish I was qualified.
To the test, and with Prize Picks special offers, as long as somebody like LeBron James scores just a single point, you will win. And if you want to try Prize Picks for yourself, you click the link in the description or pin comment and play a $5 because they believe the conspiracies are true, which is something Ski Mask has clearly went out of his way to say. But even with this, as Ski Mask stated, his fundamental issue with Drake is that after the loss of XXXTentacion, all Drake